Member for Kew on a question.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. The Minister for Education knew over a month ago that questions for dozens of VCE exams had been negligently released to the public. He failed to be honest with students, teachers and parents, choosing to cover up the debacle. He failed to ensure that each compromised exam was completely rewritten so that no student would be at a disadvantage. He completely failed Victorian students. With at least 56 VCE exams compromised, why has the government put the future of Victorian students at risk?
Good question.
Minister for Education. Oh, was it?
Speaker.
Sorry.
You're not capable of answering it.
Premier.
Speaker,
Leader of the Opposition.
I can understand
Premier,
the misunderstanding,
order.
Speaker.
In silence. The
Can
Premier will be
understand
heard
the
in
misunderstanding, Speaker,
We've been preparing
because
for 2 days.
I know. Speaker, I reject much of the presentation and the I'm happy to reject the way the shadow
Member for Kew.
the way that
Order.
the Shadow Minister for Private Schools in Kew has represented this situation.
Member for Kew. When the House comes to order. Manager of Opposition Business has a point of order.
118. It is completely disorderly for the Premier to nastily impugn other members.
Order. Remind the Premier about imputations against other members. Premier to continue.
Thank you, Speaker. And as the Deputy Premier and Minister for Education has gone to publicly on a number of occasions, as have I, the government and the Minister and I all acknowledge that students have been let down as a result of these errors from the VCEE. It is unacceptable, and that is why I strongly support the very strong action that the Deputy Premier and the Minister for Education has taken. A root and branch review of the VCEE is already underway. There is also an independent monitor that is being appointed to oversee the 2025 examination process. Also, too, the Deputy Premier has moved very quickly following the departure of the former CEO to appoint respected education industry leader Dr Marcia Devlin to lead the organisation, and also, too, is supported by an independent expert review panel that includes Professor John Firth. Now, anyone who's been around the education community for the last 2 or 3 decades knows what a strong and respected independent person John Firth is, and he is going to work with two other panel members to oversight the marking process for the 2024 process.
Order.
The Minister. Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. And these, as I've said, the root and branch review is already underway. The independent panel are doing their work. They are doing their work. We thank them for their work. And we also, too, I reiterate, understand that students have been let down, and that is why the Education Minister and Deputy Premier has also been engaging. I'm sorry, Speaker. His colleague asked
the running
question.
commentary is unnecessary. Premier to continue.
It is running. The Deputy Premier and Education Minister has been working very closely with schools and principals and school leaders to support them, to explain what has gone on and to work through what needs to be done. That root and branch review is underway. The independent panel is doing their work, and will continue to support students, whether they're in Year 12 or prep, with the support they need to get a great schooling.
Member for Kew on a supplementary question.
Thank you, Speaker. Given the Education Minister has let Victorian students down and has a record of incompetence, is now risking the futures of VCE students and their families, causing immense distress, will the Premier sack her Education Minister?
Premier.
Thank you, Speaker. The answer is no. And let me tell the member for Kew why the answer is no. She framed her question around the minister's record. Well, let me share this with the member for Kew and all members of the House. Victoria has the best school attendance rates in the country, the highest proportion of school leavers fully engaged in tertiary education.
Member for Kew. Member for Kew. Premier. Member for Leader of the Nationals. Premier will resume her seat. On a point of order, Leader of the Opposition.
On relevance, Speaker, the question is about the incompetence of this minister who has jeopardised the future of tens of thousands of Victorian students due to his incompetence. It's not about school building.
Leader of the Opposition will resume his seat. I have reminded the Leader of the Opposition and others that points of order are not an opportunity to make a statement to the House. On the point of order, Premier.
Remind the Leader of the Opposition that the member for Kew's question went to the record of the minister, and I was providing the member for Kew with details of what the minister.
Order.
Goodness me.
Order.
I think you'd better do a walk.
Order. Order,
Goodness
Premier.
me.
Premier,
Settle
on
down.
the point of order.
So, Speaker, I was being entirely relevant to the question that was asked by the member for Kew. If the Leader of the Opposition wants to listen to the answer rather than constantly interject, he might see that I was being entirely relevant to the question that was asked.
Order. Premier was being relevant to the question that was asked. The Premier.
Thank you, Speaker. I was getting to the next point, the country's best NAPLAN results. The country's best NAPLAN results. The largest growth of school staff workforce in the country and the lowest student-to-teacher ratios of any state. Overseeing a massive building program and, of course, something I know the Minister for Education is particularly proud of is the introduction of phonics teaching into our schools. The Minister for Education is working hard every single day for every school student in this state, and that is why he's making a great impact on the education system.